How to break bad habits and cultivate good ones in just 3 steps. How can the Bible help you break your bad habits? I am Kinlo Ephraim and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will be looking at the various ways in which we can change our bad habits and cultivate new ones with some guides from the Bible. First of all, our lives are too busy that at times we pay less attention to ourselves, and this makes us either ignore some certain aspects of our lives which later becomes habits and acts on us unconsciously, or we follow a particular pattern of life that later generates some bad habits. Let's consider the example of 2 persons when the alarm clock of the first person rings. Even though he is sleepy, but he immediately gets out of bed and puts on his exercise clothes he laid out the night before and goes for a brief jog. And he effectively does these 3 times a week, and he has been doing this for the past 2 years. In the second example, a woman just had a quarrel with the husband. Angry and frustrated, she storms into the kitchen, pulls out a bag of chocolate candies, and eats them all, just as she seems to do every time she is upset. Now, when we look at these 2 examples just mentioned, we see that these 2 have something in common. That thing is the force of habit. Here, the habit might be good or bad. What about you? Are there some good habits you will like to build in your life? Perhaps your goal is to exercise regularly, to get more sleep at the correct time, or to keep in touch with relatives and loved ones. Or instead you will like to break a bad habit, such as smoking cigarettes, drinking too much, eating too much junk food, spending excessive time on the trivial things. But here is the truth: it is very difficult to overcome a bad habit. In fact, a bad habit is like a worm bed on a raining and cold day. Easy to get in it, but very difficult to get out of. But it is very possible to overcome a bad habit. So now, how can we overcome bad habits and make them work for us instead of against us? To do this, we will consider the 3 suggestions based on some easy principles, which some can even be found in the Bible. 1. Be realistic. It can be tempting to try to change everything in your life immediately, especially when just starting. You tell yourself, this week, I am going to stop smoking cigarettes, stop staying up too late, start exercising every day, start eating better, start keeping good relationship with my relatives. You see, trying to reach all your goals at once or at the same time is the best way of reaching none of them, so a normal person will realize that he or she has limits as to what he can do. Such limits are time, energy, and resources. So rather than trying to change everything at once, we make some improvement gradually. Always keep this in mind, that trying to reach all your goals at the same time is a sure way to reach none of them. This will guide you as in how to go about it, and only you can determine how to. Guides on how to do this in a gradual way. Create 2 master lists, that is, a list of good habits you will like to build, and a list of bad habits that you need to get rid of. Do not limit yourself. On each list, write down as many as possible. Prioritize the items on your list, numbering them in order of importance to you. Choose a few habits, even 1 or at most 2 from the 2 lists, and focus on those. Then move on to the next, because if the previous one is worked on correctly, then they will start manifesting in our subconscious mind, and we will turn to do them without taking note of. You can speed up the process by replacing bad habits with a good one. Even the Bible says it, that make sure of the more important things. Philippians chapter 1 verse 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 8 says, better is the end of a matter than its beginning. So rather than trying to make a lot of things either to impress someone or yourself, it's better to focus on one and grab that before going to the next. 2. Manage your environment. For example, you want to start eating better, but you see that ice cream seems to have your name written on it, and you feel as to eat it, and finally you eat it and realizes that after. To solve this, try not to keep food in the kitchen or anywhere you can easily find, or better still, don't buy at all. so that when temptation strikes, giving in will require more efforts than not giving in. You decided to quit smoking, but once again, your friend offers you a cigarette. To resolve this, avoid going close to any of such friends. Make friends with non-smokers. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs chapter 13 verse 20, that the one walking with the wise will become wise, but the one who has dealings with the stupid will fare badly. So, don't even go anywhere close to cigarette. You plan to exercise today, but even digging through the closets and your running shoes seems like too much work, or finding the sport equipment is too much work. To resolve this, the night before, set your exercise clothes ready and next to you. Even set an alarm so that first thing in the morning it will be easier to get started. Also, from Proverbs chapter 21 verse 5, which says, the plans of the diligent surely lead to success, but all who are hasty surely head for poverty. So, planning well will surely help you reach your target. Can you see a common thread in those scenarios? Time and again, experience has shown that our environment, that is, the situations we put ourselves in, the people we spend time or associate with, influences our success in building good habits and breaking bad ones. Also, friends can help overcome bad habits. The Bible even says that the shrewd one sees the danger and conceals himself, but the inexperienced keep right on going and suffer the consequences. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 3. This means the Bible advises us to think ahead. By doing so, we can cautiously avoid situations that could undermine our goals, and as a result can actively put ourselves in bad situations. 3. Take a long review, provided that everything done is taken note of. Statistics shows that it takes an average of 21 days to cement a new habit or even develop a new skill. Consider the illustration that you want to exercise regularly. The first week. Day 1, you just go walking. Day 2, you jog for 5 minutes and walk for the rest of the distance. Day 3, don't do anything at all. Day 4, you exercise for 10 minutes, which is good. Day 5, you decrease a bit and maybe exercise for 5 minutes. Day 6, you then exercise for 10 minutes again. Day 7, you rest. Week 2, you miss a day. Week 3, you do well. Week 4, you barely exercise. Week 5, you reach your goals again. And the process continues until you build a very solid and regular exercise routine. You see that even though it was difficult and some lapses occurred, but it took a long time. It is but normal because we all have limits. Proverbs chapter 24 verse 16 say, for the righteous one may fall 7 times, and he will get up again, but the wicked will be mad to stumble by calamity. What matters is the end result, not the beginning. Looking at this, we should not focus on the bad times but the good times, and we should also appreciate ourselves for something good that we do. That way, we will achieve many more in any domain of our lives. Finally, we should remember that our habits can only change as a result of positive actions, which comes from positive thinking. Keeping in mind that our thoughts becomes words, our words becomes action, our actions becomes habits, our habits become our character, and our character becomes our destiny. Thanks very much for reaching till the end. Please, if you find the contents in this video useful and you will like to see more of this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share and like my videos in order to support me. Thanks.